Hey guys, and welcome to another brand new video. In this video, we're actually seeing some kind of big drama when it comes to the Xbox and Xbox Series X and S. Now, as you guys probably know, we do have the big Xbox conferences ongoing, so you guys have a chance to go and talk about that. So we'll maybe have another separate video talking about that later on, but I still always want to go and say I like the idea that Xbox exists, and Game Pass, and games, and all of that. I'm excited about that stuff. I like that. But it does kind of not necessarily stop the big issue going, where a lot of games are kind of getting delayed still. A lot of games have been kind of on the somewhat lackluster side in terms of Xbox, in terms of like what they're getting build-wise and all that. And even some of the more popular games that are coming out very soon that are kind of like very general third-party, such as Riot Games, are still having issues with kind of having to go and trim down Xbox games to make them on par with PlayStation. Now, this can maybe sound like a big PlayStation, like whoop-de-doo, like it's better, but no, I'm more on the opposite side. Or I like the idea of Xbox. I want them to succeed. I want them to do well. And I kind of hope that a lot of these kind of big critiques that these companies have in terms of coding on them and trying to make sure it's logged on the Xbox Series S, which has been an ongoing issue for quite some time, is not going to happen on the next consoles, and as well will hopefully be a good experience for how they're going to kind of take the next vibe. If they still have all three, or they have like a handheld device for the future, or the brand new Xbox Series X2 or whatever, I just hope that all these kind of critiques are not going to happen for that console, because it is a lot of bad PR, makes people even kind of just not want to play the games. And usually for me, if a game gets delayed, I'm usually not even looking forward to it, or I'll buy it on PC or PS5 instead. So let's go talk about some of the bigger issues going on right now, because it's not, well, fun on the Xbox side. Now, this does not take away from the Xbox event. Like I said, we'll have another video on that later on throughout the day. And I like the idea that people are trying new things and working on new things, and we have, like, you know, all these other leaks and everything else coming out with it. Like, I'm excited for this stuff. So let's go talk about it. Make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on. We have the Twitter and Twitch room down below. I am also making this video a little bit earlier, like late at night, so I can sleep on in. I'm a little bit underneath the weather, so we'll have some more stuff throughout the day. So first and foremost, we've kind of seen some really big Valorant news. Now, Valorant itself is kind of a more popular game, very popular on Twitch, also on YouTube, but as well just a fun game. Free to play, it's like CSGO, but instead a little bit more creative and more like entertaining, I guess, in terms of character-wise. But the Valorant on the PS5 is actually being nerfed due to the fact that there's not going to have any gyro aiming, to also ensure that Xbox players aren't at a big disadvantage. We'd be heavily favoring the PS5 over Xbox, which we do not want to do. Now, once again, I like the idea of everything being equal regardless, so I'm okay with this. I don't want to sound like a hater. But there is kind of big issues where some things are getting now nerfed. Saying the PlayStation 5 version of Valorant won't support gyro aiming because the developer, Riot Games, doesn't want to put the Xbox players at a disadvantage. While discussing the tweaks made for the upcoming console versions of the game on X, product management lead Coleman Palm was asked by a follower if the game would support gyro aiming. No gyro support for console, no. He replied, "It's cool tech though, I also want to play around with it a bit more." And that's not the biggest deal. I'm sure they want to just have like proper specs and make sure it's just, you know, controller to controller. Like, I get it, I understand it. But this is just another good example that Xbox has things that PlayStation doesn't. And I don't, like, once again, I don't want to sound like a PlayStation fanboy. I'm like, oh, let's go, Xbox sucks or whatever, because I like Xbox. You guys watch my videos, I'm usually pretty like, maybe skew a little bit towards PS5, but they just have more games. I like Game Pass, I'm a PC guy, I'm sure you guys know. Saying after users suggested that gyro aiming is a blind spot for some developers, even though it's arguably the most mouse-like way of aiming on a controller, Palm pointed out that it wasn't an oversight, but actually a proper decision. Not a blind spot for us, for what it's worth, but it's not supported on Xbox controllers natively, he explained. Which is okay, like, it just doesn't have the feature, it's fine. Like, keep everyone equal, I'm okay with this. But if we lean super hard into gyro being the only way to play on console, we'd be heavily favoring the PS5 over Xbox, which we don't want to do. Which at the end of the day, I still think is kind of nice. I do enjoy that. I enjoy the fact that they like are trying to keep it equal. But it, once again, is kind of like a big issue on Xbox, so they just don't have all the features or all the proper specs they need. So we'll talk about this in a second, but like Black Myth Wukong actually will be even getting delayed, and we even saw this too with things like Baldur's Gate, where they had multiple month delays and definitely missed on the hype factor. Now, people still played it, they still enjoyed it, and they probably will still enjoy, like, say, Wukong, but it is something to kind of know. Basically saying after it suggests that supporting gyro controllers isn't necessarily favoritism, Palm said that while he agreed in principle, the team wanted to focus on making a control system that would support all console players for now, which I think is fine. But it also is kind of weird because it does seem like Xbox keeps on like tapering things away, which at the end of the day is not the biggest deal. Like, this is not going to change too much in Valorant, kind of a non-issue, but it's just kind of part of the video, I guess to say. Not opposed to supporting it outright, he explained. Just want to focus on innovations on more standard control paradigms, whatever, I'm sick, whatever, leave me alone, out of the gate to support players on both platforms. there are some folks internally who are pretty excited about gyro and have been for a while. Now, as well, also, once again, they are having issues apparently with the Xbox Series S now, which once again is just issues. Black Myth Wukong is delayed on Xbox until it meets their quality standards, and this is a game I'm really excited for. Details on the Xbox version of the hotly anticipated action RPG are coming, quote-unquote, later. So they go and say on this one too, as of June 8th, that the Black Myth Wukong developer Game Science has confirmed in an FAQ dated on June 8th that the Xbox version of the upcoming Souls-like action RPG has indeed been delayed due to quality concerns, which recently reads like a nice way of saying that the Xbox Series S, the weakest system on the platform list, is struggling to run the game. And this is once again like the big ongoing issue, because as games on go, like, we need to make sure that we can keep on pushing the standard and making games nicer. I think the Xbox Series X and PS5 are fine. Same with PC. Even the Switch 2 is like, it's overdated. Like, not to only make it an Xbox issue, I think the Switch needs to be updated. Although we do know the Switch 2 might be coming soon. And it just sucks. So PC and PS5 users can enjoy the full game starting on August 20th. We are currently optimizing the Xbox Series X and S version to meet our quality standards. So it won't be releasing simultaneously with other platforms. We apologize for the delay and aim to minimize the wait for Xbox users, which is still good. They are still trying to make it good, and I'd also rather have the game fit those quality standards. Like, I don't mind. Like, it's annoying, so I guess I do mind a little bit, but like not to the point where I'm going to complain about it. I may critique it, and hopefully you guys take this more of critiques rather than complaining, but I do agree that this Xbox Series S, this like weird stuff was cool in theory, but it was already kind of weak day one. It was a cool console. I like the idea of a cheaper console, but maybe I'll just maybe put more of a handheld device and make it easier, and then kind of focus on like having the Xbox Series X2 stay like that big standard where they don't have these delays happening. I do also respect Xbox for trying to make sure the Xbox Series S is still hitting that standard, and they are taking care of their users. I like that. That's good stuff with Xbox. We vibe that. But once again, it's just having issues because it keeps on pushing even Xbox Series X release dates back. So as I mentioned, Baldur's Gate was having a lot of issues. Like, they had to wait multiple months, and by then, like, I'm sure there were still sales, but the hype factor kind of died down a lot. And as well, like, we did see a few updates from them adding mods for certain games. Like, those are the cool things that will make the Xbox better on the PlayStation. You can't really mod the PS5 games too much, but on Xbox you can. So, I mean, if they can try to go and push into these things and make these things cool and dope, like, I'm cool with that. I'd vibe with that. Like, I think most people will be okay with that. If you even delayed it for cool mods and make the overall version better, it's good. But they also have now been confirming, too, that the physical editions of the game will only have these digital vouchers, too, as well. And, like, it's just kind of weird. Because especially if you're having all these issues even getting games out, like maybe, who knows, maybe they can simultaneously launch on Xbox with the physical edition. That'd be kind of nice. That's cool. But it does kind of stink because they want them to go and have these games be better. And it stinks because I think Xbox Series S users exist and they matter. But at the same time, Xbox Series X users are out there too. So why does Xbox Series X users always have to go and basically have to wait for the Xbox Series S version? I understand like the logistics of it, and you want to make sure the coding's all right, and et cetera, like the actuality behind it, but more of like the deeper thought. And it sucks because basically you don't want to screw over the Xbox Series S users who bought the console, and it's getting a little bit dated, I get it. But at the same time, that's also, as you're not screwing over the Xbox Series S people, you're screwing over the Xbox Series X people. So it's like no one kind of wins. Like, I mean, they still win at the end of the day a few months after the fact, but these are non-exclusive games. Like, PlayStation isn't paying for this. For Baldur's Gate, and they got a huge win, a huge amount of brand new sales. Or this game may not be as big as Baldur's Gate, but I'm excited for it. I've been wanting to play it. I've been hyping it up. I'll play it day one. Like, I like these Souls-like games. I've been liking Stellar Blade a lot, and those are all cool games at the end of the day. And like, you even saw this before. Like, Larian had issues with the split-screen co-op stuff on the S. They had to cut the features out, and they're losing, once again, features. Same with, like, how on PS5, like, they're losing features to the Xbox itself, and then same with Xbox, where all these other things are being delayed or whatever. So it kind of sucks. Like, it's not a big deal, because you can still play games on PC. I play Game Pass games on PC. And as well, I'm for PS5 too, like, it's fine. Everyone's getting the same equal standing, so it's not the biggest issue, like I said. But I am still a bit concerned about the fact of, like, what's going to keep on happening throughout the life cycle of this console generation. Will the Xbox Series S, will this just be an ongoing issue that's never going to stop? Like, I'm concerned about this stuff, and I'm concerned about the people who have it and who don't, because Xbox users are getting screwed over. And it makes me really sad to see. Either way, I want to hear your thoughts too as well on the Xbox Showcase. Like I said, we'll have a probably proper video for that in a few hours if you guys want to be subscribed for that. We have the Twitter and Twitch room down below in case you guys like to go and follow. And I appreciate you guys all very much for watching here. In the first place, give me your thoughts and comments or disagreeing down below.